what's up, man? I thought I heard music in here.
Have you ever heard of knocking?
Knocking, yeah, right. You know what? Actually, my family owns this place, so I don't really have to knock.
Well, I live and I work here now, which means you can't just come barging in whenever you want. Typical Crane attitude. You think your money gives you the right to push people around, do whatever you damn well want? Well, I pay rent here, and I expect some privacy, so get out.
What?
Now.
You know what? I'm not going anywhere.
Get out of here, Fox. I'm not gonna say it again.
Let me tell you something, man. You've got a chip on your shoulder the size of a sequoia. What's up with this attitude you're slinging?
Oh, I got attitude? You're the one that came barging in here. This is my place.
What, you live here?
That's right.
In a recording studio.
What about it?
No, nothing. No, look, like I said, I just found out my family owns the place, and I, just want to take a look around, that's all.
Why?
Well, I've been doing research on all the Crane holdings, you know, trying to find a place in the Crane empire where I could fit in. And, just kind of find it curious that my family owns a recording studio. I mean, it doesn't really fit the mold of the whole Crane corporate image. So I thought I'd come by and take a look.
I get it. Doing a job in the music industry. So you got your daddy to kick me out so you can have it all to yourself. I'm gonna save you the trouble. I'm leaving anyway.
All right, well, look. Chad, I didn't come here to kick you out, okay? Like I said, I didn't even know you were here. I just came by to take a look around.
Well, I'm leaving anyway. I got a job in LA at a record company.
You're kidding.
No, and I leave soon.
Los Angeles? Oh my God, I've always wanted to spend more time there. With all that sunshine and the beaches and Hollywood parties, the whole club scene. Not to mention the women, huh?
Nah, I'm not interested in all that. The only woman I'm interested in is my girlfriend, Whitney. She's the one I love, the one I've always loved. And I'd do just about anything to get her to come to LA with me. You've been in love before. So much for the idea of somebody being apart from you for 6 days, let alone 6 months.
What? Actually, I really don't know what you're talking about. I mean, to tell you the truth, it's been kind of strange coming back to Harmony. I mean, first listening to Teresa talk about Ethan, right, and how much she loves him, and then coming here just to hear you talk about Whitney and how much you love her. To be quite honest, man, I never really knew love like that existed. I always just assumed it was something made up to sell greeting cards or something.
You know, I used to think that way before I met Whitney. But believe me, man, this is the real thing. Nothing sweeter.
I will, take your word for it.
Oh, no, you'll find out yourself someday.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
Well, maybe, whatever.
All right. Anyway, man, I'm sorry I got mad at you when you came in.
You know what? Forget it.
No, I mean, it's been a real long night, and the last thing I wanted to deal with was a Crane.
Right.
I mean, I know Julian, and he could be a real bastard. I mean, sorry if that offends you.
No, it doesn't offend me. Actually, I couldn't agree with you more.
And I owe you for getting me out of that fire at Sheridan's cottage.
Forget it. It's no big deal.
Well, anyway, I shouldn't have assumed you're like your father. I mean, you seem like a pretty stand-up guy.
I can be just about as big of a bastard as my father, if not more of a bastard, but...
Hey, at least you're honest. Not trying to pretend to be someone you're not.
I am what I am, man. Why try to hide it?
Well, I guess I've been warned, huh?
Yeah, you can put your name at the end of a long list.
Your honesty's a real change, Fox. I mean, I hadn't seen a lot of that from the Cranes, except for Ethan. But turns out he's not a Crane.
Ah, do not compare me to that guy, okay? I am nothing like him, not in any way, shape, or form. We've never gotten along. We've never seen eye to eye.
Why not? I mean, Ethan's a great guy. He's honest, he's loyal, he's always doing the right thing. And what's not to like?
Well, I guess I'll admit that since he's no longer a threat to my inheritance or trying to climb up the Crane corporate ladder, it's a little easier for me to feel better about Ethan.
It should be. I mean, he's your half-brother.
Yeah, right. You know, he was always there, and I was the spare. My father and my grandfather constantly had us at odds because they knew I could never measure up. Okay, I mean, Ethan was a serious one, right? And I like to play. But you know what? None of that matters now because I get everything. Ethan's not a Crane, so, I mean, I guess I can feel better about him because he's no longer a threat to me.
You weren't lying. I mean, you're just like Julian.
Too much reality for you, Chad?
Too much Crane, maybe.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'll tell you what, though, there is one thing Ethan and I have in common, though. We both like Teresa. In fact, I bet if that guy were honest with himself, didn't always try to do the right thing by everyone else, he'd have to admit he's still in love with her.
What about you?
What about me?
I mean, you're upfront about what you are. You sure made it clear you don't do right by anybody but yourself. So is Teresa on your radar?
Is Teresa on my radar? What are you talking about?
Come on, man. I know you have eyes for Teresa. I just want to see if you're serious about hooking up with her. Are you in love with Teresa?
Look, Chad, I already told you, man, I've never really felt the kind of love that you have for Whitney, all right? I'm not even sure I'm capable of it.
Everybody is. When you meet the right woman, you have no choice but to love her with all your heart and soul. And that's how I love Whitney. That's why it's so hard for me to think of going to LA without her. It'd be like me leaving half of myself behind.
Man, you know what you need to do? You need to get out. You can't sit here alone feeling depressed about Whitney. You need to reconnect with your second love, man, music.
Man, I don't know.
No, listen, I was going over all the real estate holdings that my family has. Turns out we own a nightclub downtown. What do you say we go there, I don't know, check it out, have a drink or something?
What's the name of the club?
It's called the Blue Note?
You're kidding.
No, why, you know it?
Well, I came to Harmony to find my real mother and father. And I got a lead about my father in a club called the Blue Note in Boston. I think that's where my father met my mother. I mean, my father was some rich guy who thought the world revolved around him.
Oh, wow, and now you find out that my family owns a club called the Blue Note. Are you sure your father wasn't a crane?
Right. I'm your brother. And since I'm the older one, I'm gonna take Ethan's spot as the heir.
Oh.
And you can go back to being the spare.
Okay. Well, in that case, you'll be buying the drinks tonight. All right, come on, let's get out of here. Why do you suppose my family own a place like this? I mean, it can't be that hot of an investment, you know? It's certainly not the kind of place my father or grandfather would hang out at.
Looks like you're wrong, Fox.
Well, that's interesting. 'Cause my father's full of secrets.
We have something in common. My father is a secret.